Yeah, that's super important. And just, yeah, more human factors. So that's, yeah, just interacting with the software, making sure it's user-friendly, making sure it's pretty to look at. And yeah, you can spend the whole semester just kind of learning one of these factors. So it's a really good enterprise to kind of get some experience in. So why should you join? Gain real world experience. I'm actually interning at Target right now, and the experience that I gained from H.I.D.E helped me when I started working at Target, because the structure of how we build our projects is the exact same. We do an agile work arrangement, which means we do work in 2-week sprints. So we just get a whole bunch of work done in 2 weeks and do daily stand-ups to check up on what we're doing. And that's the exact same thing that you're doing in H.I.D.E. So get a really good experience for something like that. You get the chance to learn different frameworks and languages. All of our projects use rather different frameworks and languages, goes all the way across the board. So if you want to learn something new, you can hop into one project. If you don't like it, you can hop onto the next one and kind of explore what you want to do. Yes, and like I said, multiple buildable projects to be a part of. So, and it's fun. You know, we have a good time over there. So yeah. So these are some examples. Do we have some time to run through some examples, or should we move on?
Sure, I think that's yeah, sure, absolutely.
Okay, so I'll just give you guys a little taste of what we got here. So first, we've got CocoaTemp. It's one of our oldest projects. We've been looking through some files that are probably about 5 years old, and we'll still find CocoaTemp hidden in there. So this is basically, yeah, it's a temperature and weather sensor that collects data each day and provides an overview of what weather conditions are like on a map. So it's, yeah, they have, I think their sponsor is in Arizona. So they, this person just has paid for all these sensors to be just spread all across the country. And so this team has been taking all that data and compiling into this website. I'm fairly certain it's online, so you could probably look it up and find it. And yeah, just kind of take a look at what they got there. But yeah, and then we've got Timeslot. So this one is for all the learning centers that you'll find on campus. So example being the mathematics and multiliteracy learning centers. So when you go into these centers, you might want to schedule an appointment for to try and work on some homework you might have, or maybe you're just confused on an assignment. So here, this allows, this is a student-created website in which, yeah, you can sign up for times, find, maybe you really like a certain coach, so you can choose that person, and then you sign up and get your appointment all set up. So that's something that's really cool that we have set up. And yeah, it's actually been used at several universities, not just ours. So yeah. This is a voting site. So our undergrad student government, which is the USG, and career services may decide that they want to do, you know, maybe a little bit of voting, and we don't want to use Google forms or anything like that. So this one allows us to kind of make our own website that's kind of crafted to Michigan Tech. So yeah, it's just a big survey interface, which we can start using. I'm not sure it has been put into use yet, but it should be incoming here. So that one's a really good one. And then HuskyHunt. So for all the applications of you have a couch, you want to sell your couch, you want to ride back home, or like you need to find a ride home, you need to carpool with someone, or basically anything. People would look for a website to do that. We used to have one that was called Barkboard. So this is our replacement for that. This one's still in the process of testing. It should be released at some point soon here. But yeah, so that one's an upcoming project that's about to be done. And then CCLQ, this one is for the computer science majors for our College Computing Learning Center. So this is for specifically when you're in this learning center and you have any questions, you can, this one is connected to our Canvas website. So essentially that's where all your homework is. You might have your assignment on there, and we're making it so that you can click on a little tab in the Canvas website and be able to ask these learning center coaches or your professor a question, and be able to get those answered and kind of get some help on it. So this one, I believe, is fairly new, but they're making some good work on that. Okay, so this one's Tempest. This is one I actually worked on last year. So this one's actually kind of a copy, a little bit of CocoaTemp. So this one, except is funded by the GVSC, which is by the under the U.S. Army, stationed in, I believe, Warren, Michigan. So they essentially are tasked us to create, utilize Raspberry Pis to be able to essentially just drop a Raspberry Pi at any given location and then receive the weather data that comes from that Pi. So that one just started last year, so it's still kind of working through some small little problems here and there, but that's an upcoming one, a little fresh. So yeah, lots of hardware and software components there. So if you like working with hardware, you can fiddle around with the Pi a little bit and work on that. So yeah, so does anyone have any questions so far? Okay, if not, then thank you guys for listening.
Thanks, Lena. Thank you very much. Oh, we got one question from Annika.
Oh, okay. What language? Oh, yes. What languages do you use? So it really varies. So we, a lot of our stuff is web-based. So we might use stuff like JavaScript, and we use a lot of our teams use Django. So we utilize a little bit of Python. I don't know if we have any projects currently working in anything like Java, but the idea that we have for this year is to be able to kind of expand out a little bit and be able to do a little bit more projects. So that is definitely something that if you have a certain interest in a language that you would like to use, we can definitely arrange to kind of get a project going for something like that. And then I have another question from Dan Furman. He's asking about my internship, I suppose. At Target, is it a 1-2 week sprint after another, or do you get a break in between? So it is it's one after the other. So that's the same thing for our sprints in H.I.D.E. So essentially, yeah, we have a certain day at the end of our sprint in which you'll assign tasks, and maybe, yeah, and then you'll start working on those tasks. Maybe halfway through your sprint, we'll take a look back and see what we've gotten done, see what might not be able to finish by the end of the sprint, and then we'll kind of, maybe we might have to kind of reevaluate what we need to get done, and then, yeah, we reevaluate, we might need to reorganize, and then try and move on from there to get the rest of the sprint done. And then when we hit the end of our sprint, we just kind of refill out all of our new tasks, and just kind of set new goals and like stuff like that. Yep.
Well, thanks so much, Lena. I appreciate that presentation. That's
Yeah,
very great.
you.
Yeah, thanks. Will you be able to be around a little bit for if people have other questions that come up?
Yes.
Okay,
So I'll be here.
perfect. Good. Well, let's move on. Let's hear from the Red Team. And let's see. I believe we've got is it Stu and Matthew?
Hi everyone. We are Red Team, the cybersecurity organization at Michigan Tech.
Hello.
I'm Stu, and Matt
I'm
is
Matthew.
also with me today. I'm the president of Red Team. I'm a third-year cybersecurity major with a network security focus. And Matt is a second-year cybersecurity major with the networking focus. He's our secretary. So for what we are and what we do, we're an organization of cybersecurity enthusiasts of all experience levels and majors. For example, we have a couple people who are actually quite new to the field that, consistently come to all of our meetings, and, a participation from them is more than welcome. Some of the majors we have include computer science, computer engineering, computer networking, system administration, cybersecurity, electrical engineering, mathematics, etc. We get around 15 to 20 people every meeting quite actively. And we welcome people to give topics or talks on topics that they're interested in. These can include things like industrial security, networking, software, physical security, etc. We do talks on security news, the latest tools and techniques, cybersecurity competitions like CTFs, and we do also organize trips to conventions for cybersecurity. As for competitions, one of the largest things we do outside of our actual meetings is capture the flag competitions. If you do not know what a capture the flag competition is, the kind of range of what they are, it depends on who is hosting them. There are some Jeopardy style capture the flag competitions, and then there are some where you need to, for example, hack into a machine and get a certain string or a flag, some sort of text file that says that you've successfully hacked into the machine, and then submit that for points. We are a major participant in the National Cyber League, and we participate in tons of other ones. National Cyber League is a Jeopardy style CTF, as mentioned earlier, with many different sections for college students of all interest fields. Some of these could include things like cryptography, open source intelligence, password cracking. As for other CTFs, though, we've participated in many over the past few months, actually. Two of the largest and most difficult were Hackasat, which was actually qualifiers for Hackasat, but the finals for Hackasat are actually hacking a real low orbit satellite, which is a pretty cool project for people to take on. And this weekend, we will actually be collaborating with Samurai, which is a CTF team with numerous members from multiple different organizations. And we are going to be competing in the DEF CON finals CTF. So that's going to be a pretty crazy experience for us. That's going to be an attack and defense style CTF where we are protecting our own computers and hacking into theirs. So it'll be a lot of fun. And these are just, a sample size of some of the things we do in terms of competitions. Weekly meetings, we hold 6 to 7 p.m. every Thursday during the academic year. These are typically held in Rec E101, but due to COVID restrictions and whatnot, we may move completely over to Discord, which is what we've been doing as a solution since those have begun, which, if you would like, the link for our Discord is right there along with our Slack. And I think that's it for me. Matt, do you have anything to say?
You covered everything. Thanks.
All right, cool. If there are any other questions, I'll be around for the end of this. So, feel free to stick by and I'll talk to you then.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Stu. And thanks, Matt.
No problem.
Appreciate that. Oh, here we go. You got a question.
Perfect.
You still there?
Yes, I am. No, you do not need any experience to join Red Team. I actually serve as a great example. I am the current standing president of Red Team. And at the time that I went to my first Red Team meeting, I would say I'd never even thought about doing cybersecurity. I've actually since changed my major to cybersecurity. The organization as a whole was actually very influential on that. I changed from computer science to cybersecurity because through Red Team, I kind of found my calling for cybersecurity in general. But no experience is necessary whatsoever. We have, like I said, a lot of people who come in who are like mathematics majors who have no experience, but they're very interested in the topics. We even have a theater major who is interested in cybersecurity, and they've joined up with us since then. So no experience is required. Discord is a chat platform where we host the voice calls for this. If you'd like, I can drop the link in the chat for that along with our Slack.
Super. Thanks, Stu.